Hello everyone. Have you ever learned English through acting or role play? Well, now we are going to talk about that. We are group 6 and our topic is drama and performance based from literatures. So before we begin, let me introduce my group members. My name is Legisha Fania and I work together with Kak Dion, Clay, Kak Yowan, Kak Excel. So let's get started. So why is drama important in language learning? According to Bland, drama is incredibly potent because it aligns with how children naturally learn through imitation, play, and social interaction. It supports holistic learning, which means it doesn't just train the brain, but it involves the whole child. This includes their thinking skill, like how they interact with others, their emotional motivation, and even their physical movement. For example, like think about how a child learns to say hello. They don't just read a book, right? But they also imitate their parents' wave and then they feel the joy of a greeting. And they use the whole body to express it. So there is a drama in a simple form. What is performance based from literature? So, what does this actually look like in the class? It includes acting, role play, storytelling, and various theoretical activity. The most important thing to remember that is drama doesn't have to be complicated. You don't need a stage or costume. It can start with a simple two-person dialogue. But our main goals here are to build speaking skill, interaction, and the most importantly is a confidence for students. For example, like imagine a simple role play where one student is hungry bear and the other is a shopkeeper. Instead of just reading a dialogue about food, the bear has to use a growly voice and gesture. So this shift from reading to performing make the language teach because the student is living in the scenario. Now let's talk about why teachers should use drama in language learning. First, drama creates more engagement. Students are more active and interested because they are involved in the learning process. Second, it's a promote authentic communications. Mean students use language in real life situations. And third, it provides meaningful learning experiences. So students understand not only the language but also the context. According to Bland, drama connects learning with play, creatively, and real life communication. For example, like for instance, instead of asking students to read a dialogue from a book, the teachers can ask, imagine you are at a restaurant. So then students can create their own conversation like when waiters welcome, what would you like to order? And then the customers say, I would like to french fries and iced tea. So this makes learning more fun and realistic. So according to the plan, there are several types of drama activities that teachers can use. The first is warming up activities. These are simple games to prepare students. And the second is a scripted drama, where students follow the written script that we as teachers make. And then the third is unscripted drama. Also, we can know as an improvisation, where students create their own dialogue. For example, like warming up activity is a simple game like emotional game, when me as teacher say hello, happily and sadly angry. So student can practice different expression. And scripted drama like student act out a short story from a book or a story that we are create. So each student has a role and reads their lines, something like that. And unscripted drama or improvisation is like a teacher give a situation. Like I give a situation like you lost your phone and ask your friends to help. So student can create their own conversation like, oh, I lost my phone. Can you help me find it? So the other student can answer the question and they can dialogue with own conversation. So this is the type of activity encourage creativity and spontaneous speaking in the class.
Hi, I'm Clay. I'm here to explain about the power of drama and performance-based literature to enhance learning. First, drama can activate language. Research by Perkin shows that how we use language is closely tied to how we move. When we use drama in class, students aren't just sitting and listening. They are up and active, which naturally helps them become much better on speaking and listening. Second one, it can create security for shy learners. A big plus of drama is how it helps for our shy students. Reading a script out loud makes them feel safe. As one teacher noted on Duncan and Paran, even very quiet kids can join in. They don't have to stress about making up the right words on the spot because they just read the script. And the next one, drama provides a safe space for social exploration. Drama creates a safe space somewhere between real life and make believe. This lets students explore sensitive social issues safely. For example, they can play a game called Gossip Circle, where students can spread rumors without feeling afraid. The next one, we can analyze complex human behavior. To get students thinking deeply about how complicated people are, we can use a special kind of foreplay. We can have two students playing the exact same character at the same time, but showing different feelings. This helps them to see that human emotions are rarely simple. The next one, drama can empower the learner voice. Trying to speak in a new language can make students feel insecure. The learners points out that being creative gives them the power back. The researchers said that creative writing and drama help students find their own unique voice. Instead of just reading what others wrote, they can actively create and share their own work with the class. The next one, drama can provide achievable challenges. Howard Gardner says teenagers need challenges they can actually succeed at. Reading a play is a perfect challenge. It makes their brains work hard because they have to use their imagination to picture the stage, the sound, the movement. And the next one, drama provide mental stimulation and memory. Birkin explained that reading drama makes our brains run a mental simulation, like making a movie in our heads. To do this, students use their own real-world memories and past experiences. The next one, improving deep attention. Students often say reading a script is like watching a movie in slow motion. This slow motion is actually a great workout for the brain. It trains students to focus on one thing for a long time. which reading a book does much better than a fast paced video or screen. And the last one, challenging, challenging stereotypes through risk taking. Drama lets students fix what is missing in a story. If they notice the some not normal things or just the female character never talk to each other, they can write and act out a new scene. As Gardner say, we should encourage students to take creative risks and make mistakes so they can learn how to question and challenge the world around them. I think that's all for me. Thank you.
Okay, hello guys. Today I'm gonna talk about history of liberal arts educations. Let's get started. Okay, so what is liberal arts educations? So, liberal arts educations is an approach to learning that aims to develop well-rounded individuals rather than narrow specialists. So the term comes from the Latin artes liberales, meaning skills of a free persons. The term liberal arts for an educational curriculums dates back to classical antiquity in the West, but has changed in meaning considerably and mostly expanding it. So, this approach mostly emphasizes critical thinking, communication skills, ethical reasonings, and broad knowledge across disciplines. Okay. The history of liberal arts educations. So the liberal arts were the continuations of ancient Greek methods of inquiry that began with a desire for a universal understanding. Pythagoras argued that there was a mathematical and geometric harmony to the cosmos or the universe, and his followers linked the four arts of astronomy, arithmetic, geometry, and music into one area of study to form the disciplines of the medieval quadrivium. So, in the 4th century before Christ in Athens, the government of the polis or city states respected the ability of rhetoric or public speaking above almost everything else. Okay. Okay, so this is the timeline of liberal arts educations. So in the first timelines, uh, liberal arts educations came from ancient Greece in 5th century before Christ exists. So in this time, the foundation of liberal arts begins, and education aim at producing free and active citizens in democracy. It focused on philosophy, rhetoric, logic, and ethics. So after ancient Greece, uh, ancient Rome's developed the ancient Greece methods into from Greek ideas that adapted for practical governance and law in the 1st century before Christ until 5th century CE or Christ exists. So, in these timelines, education emphasized public speaking and civic responsibility. And after that, uh, after the ancient Rome's, we stumble to early Middle Ages in 5th until 10th century. So, classical knowledge preserved by the church. And also in this timeline, liberal arts used mainly for religious educations. Okay, after that, we there's Renaissance in 14th until 17th century. So in this era, the revival of classical learning humanisms came from Renaissance era, and also education forces on human potentials and creativity. Okay, so after that, there's an Enlightenment era. in 17th until 18th century. So in this era, liberal arts education emphasizes on reasons, science, and individual freedoms. And also, liberal arts expanded to include scientific inquiry because in this era, many people uh, study our universe, science, and many science research and all about the universe um, more developed in this era. Okay, so the last is modern era in 19th until 2021 century until today. So in modern era, liberal arts become central in Western universities, and it also shift toward general educations before specializations. And also liberal arts evolves to meet modern needs. Okay, so the last thing that I'm gonna talk about is modern liberal arts educations. So the modern so the modern use of the term liberal arts consists of four areas: the natural science, social sciences, arts, and humanities. Academic areas that are associated with the term liberal arts include life science, physical science, formal science, humanities, social science, and linguistics. Okay, the modern liberal arts educational model is based on the seven subjects. We can call it seven liberal arts. In the ancient and medieval meaning, came to be divided into the trivium of rhetoric, grammar, and logic, and the quadriviums of astronomy, arithmetic, geometry, and music. Okay, the value of the modern liberal arts systems is in the diversity and principal interactivity of the educational processes. So, students have the opportunity to choose a major and minor additional specializations. And also in the liberal arts system, the role of teachers is significantly different from the duties of their colleagues in other academic programs. In spite of in spite of the breadth and diversity of the liberal arts model concept, liberal educations at the university has clear goals and objectives, such training refers to the activities aimed at developing intellectual creativity, independences, sustainability, and critical thinking. It is also aimed at combining intellectual breadth and special knowledge, understanding and tolerance for different ideas and experiences, as well as conscious participations in the community and the development of effective communication skills.